given is the front view and the left view of a right regular pentagonal prism. Starting point O. Instructions you have to draw to scale 1 to 1. The given views. Okay, and then a top view. Show all necessary construction. Show all hidden detail. So we have a pentagon, and you know the rule that applies to work out your outer angle. 360 degrees divided by the amount of sides, which is 5, equals 72 degrees. Please use your normal protractor and not your board's protractor when doing this. Okay, so I will start off with my flat side, and remember you always have to start with a view that shows the true shape of the actual drawing and not the one opposite. Okay, so then what we are doing is we're first drawing one of the sides, and now obviously this side that is on O is our easiest side, and that is also where we are supposed to start with because it gives us the actual starting point, okay? Okay, so there's my given side. Now remember there's two methods. You have a constructing method as well. You don't have to use that method, but it is especially easy if you are drawing a pentagon on an angle, okay? And it's not on a flat side the way that it is here. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I have an adjustable set square, so I set my set square on the given 72 here. Okay, so you can see there my set square is set now to 15. That is the opposite of 72, okay? So that I have on my adjustable set square. Otherwise, you will place your protractor on the edge here of your line, the same way that my adjustable set square is now. So what I'll do is I'll place my protractor with 0 facing on that point there, okay, and then I'll measure my 72 degrees to the side, which you will then see is in line with 15 degrees, so that is why I'm using 15 degrees on my adjustable set square. And then I'm going to measure my one side, and I'll first draw it in construction. Set my set square to the opposite side, or then put my protractor 0 point on here. In construction, and then what I do is I just make sure that my compass is set to the given distance. So if my sides are already correct, you'll see that it then I just have to actually set my compass on one of those sides. So now where my point is for that side, I'm going to do a arc which is the same distance as one of my sides. To the other side, do an arc so that they intersect with one another, and that is the top of my pentagon. And then I can go and I can complete my pentagon here. And now I can draw it in solid because now I know that my lines are the right size. Okay, so there you have your polygon, and please guys make sure that when you look at it from the views that it looks the same as this one that you're seeing here. Okay, so now we have our XY axis, and remember this is a B type of line, and make it longer than the longest corners of your polygon, okay? So there we go. X1, Y1. Do our projection. C type of line projection, please. And please note, I am doing this darker, otherwise you guys can't see on the board. So on the video, these lines will appear darker. So you see what's happening here now. Let me just redo this line. Your O and your center for your pentagon must align, please. And my ruler was a little bit skew there. Okay, and then they say that it's 50. So I'm just going to more or less check the size that this view is away from my XY. It's round about there. Draw a line. Set my compass on 50. Okay, so remember I told you this distance doesn't matter, no? Okay, as long as this is more or less 10, I think this is about more than 10. It should be around 12. Okay, so it's 13. So you see it's not 10, but more or less 10. I didn't go and measure it, so you don't have to go and measure it as well. That's not necessary to measure. So now I set my compass on 50 because the actual height of my prism here is 50. Scribe my 50 somewhere. Now I will draw what I will see in solid, and I'm looking at it from the right hand side, but I'm drawing it on the left hand side. So I can see this point, and this point. These two will be hidden detail. Okay, so that is my two given views. Very easy, no? So as long as you have the pentagon and you're fine with doing the pentagon, so go and practice that, then you will be able to do the rest as well, okay? Because it's now just projection. Now you guys are still using the 45-degree method. So just away from my XY axis, more or less the same distance, I'm going to draw another XY axis. Just make sure that it's longer than your left view. XY axis. Then you're going to use your 45-degree set square. Okay, before we do that, let me just extend the XY or one axis. So this one, just going to extend it a little bit. And then on a 45-degree angle, where the two XY axes meet, that is where the 45-degree angle comes from. Not from here, where my projection is, but from where the two XY axes meet one another. So please make sure that you do that. And then 45 degrees, not 30, 60. You're going to be wrong if you're going to do that. Okay, also B line, or you can do it as C line because it's actually construction. Then I will project my front view down, and it will only be the two sides here. So just these two sides, I'm going to project it down. And this distance that you project it down does not really matter. It must just be long enough. Then I'm going to see now, I'm looking at it from the top, so from here. So I'm going to need to project through these 3 points that I'm going to see. These ones will become hidden detail, okay? But these two align and these two align, so I won't take my projection all the way from the top. I'm going to take it here from the bottom to my 45. It has to touch my 45. Here to my 45. And then here, so you see I have to extend my 45. So I'll just draw this one a little bit more or less to where I can think that it would be. And then extend my 45. And then where it touches now my 45, I'm going to project it across, and across, and this is now my top view. So this line represents that point, okay? This line represents that point that I can see. This, they are aligned, so I won't see the other one. And then this line represents that point. This one is hidden by that. And then I'll just close it off on the side here. And that is my 3 views complete.